Supporters of a plan to reopen Ipswich's Broomhill pool, which is an open-air swimming pool, say they have been really encouraged by pledges that the much-delayed project will happen. Mark Ling is the chairman of the Broomhill Pool Trust, joins us now. Afternoon to you, Mark.
Hello, Lesley. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Just for those who aren't aware, but just remind me about the project, first of all.
Well, Lesley, as you and Mark and the BBC Suffolk team know, this has been a long-running saga. So just to bring your listeners up to date, back in March 2020, so just 18 months ago, the project had the green light. £7 million worth of funding was in place. Fusion Lifestyle, who's the operator and the project lead, was ready to appoint a contractor. And they'd actually even cleared trees at the front of the site, ready so that there was access onto there. Roll forward 30 days, we then had the COVID tsunami. And, of course, it absolutely devastated everything in its path, including the Broomhill project. Fusion Lifestyle were kind of forced into a lockdown. So they are a big national operator, a not-for-profit trust. They had to lock down 200 pools, gyms and leisure centres and furlough 3,000 staff. So it's hit their income for six, and that's the reason for the delay.
But you've received encouraging news now from people like Ipswich Borough Council and Fusion Lifestyle that the project, dare I say, not dead in the water, that it is still going to go ahead, isn't it?
Well, that's what we're being told, and that's very encouraging because, to be honest, with what had actually happened during COVID and how it had affected Fusion's business model, the borough with also a hole in their budgets could have easily walked away, as could the Heritage Lottery Fund. So, in that sense, the fact that they've all committed and reaffirmed their commitment, that's very, very encouraging, and we think that's huge credit to them. So, as it stands at the moment, it doesn't mean that things are going to happen instantly, but what it does mean is that as Fusion sort of like get up to date with their operation and start putting their leisure centres back into working order, that then brings in the capital and hopefully will bring them the position where they're able to put their capital in to complete the funding and to press ahead with the project.
You must be so relieved. You've worked hard on this, haven't you, for years and years to get the Lido back open again.
Well, me and a great number of other people. There's quite a lot of Broomhill supporters across the town, and obviously the Broomhill Pool Trust is pretty much the same band of people that were originally there when it was formed in 2003. But we've always been kind of encouraged by the support that we've had in Ipswich. Broomhill was always Ipswich's happy place, and it's somewhere that is deeply loved within the town, and it's also in its own right one of the finest Lidos in the country. I don't know if people actually realise that. When you look around, there's only 17 Grade 2 listed Lidos in the country, and Broomhill is up there with the superstars there. It's something that the town can be really, really proud of once the restoration takes place.
What's his next? Do you know what's going? You said it's not going to happen straight away, so what's next on the plans?
No, I mean, the first stage was this one, really. I mean, we've been kind of sitting on our hands, biting the nails, really, for the last 18 months. Obviously, deeply worried by everything that's affected everybody out there with COVID in certain industries and sectors. And, of course, the leisure sector and Fusion were not for six as well. What we're hoping for, obviously, Fusion will then get together the project team. They'll have to reassess the costs because there's been probably price inflation and supply issues on there. They have to go through all of that again, which is so frustrating because it was all pretty much done and dusted in March 2020. But the good thing is that they're committing to do that, and they want the project to succeed. And when you look, I was actually had a staycation this year, and we went down to Saltdean Lido near Brighton. And if you have a look what Fusion have done there and the way that they operate, you can kind of see work in progress. Fusion's probably, Saltdean's probably about 6 months, a year ahead of Broomhill. That's the level that Broomhill is at. It really is one of the best Lidos in the country.
Mark, thank you very much for joining us. Mark Ling is the chairman of the Broomhill Pool Trust, and it's lovely to get a bit of positive news about the Lido. When I first worked for BBC Radio Suffolk, one of my very earliest programmes was doing an outside broadcast at Broomhill Bars when they were still working, and people, I mean, they were just, youngsters were just throng. It was a great place to go in the summer. I met a very young Kieran Dyer who was there, I think, if I remember rightly, and spoke to him as well. So good news for those of you who know all about the Broomhill Lido, and if you don't know about it, it's worth having a look online because there's some amazing photographs of when it was so popular.